By the 10th of every month, my account balance was already embarrassing. Not low. Embarrassing. And the crazy part is that I never knew where the money went. I'm not a big spender. I don't club. I don't drink. I don't gamble. I don't buy expensive clothes. That's why this whole thing confused me for a long time. I earn a salary. Not huge, but decent enough for a single guy in Nigeria. When I got the job, I told myself, at least I won't be broke again. I even made plans. Saving. Helping my parents. Maybe small investments later. Month 1 came. Salary alert. I was happy. I paid my share of rent. Settled transport. Bought foodstuff. Helped at home a bit. Everything felt normal. By the 10th, my account balance was already low. I told myself it was because it was my first month. Adjustment period. Month 2. Same thing. Month 3. Same thing. By month 5, I noticed the pattern. The moment it was the second week of the month, I was already doing calculations in my head. Which friend can I borrow from? Which expense can wait? How can I stretch food till month end? What made it worse was that I couldn't point to one big mistake. No single expense I could blame. Nothing dramatic. Just quiet suffering. Every morning before work, I would check my bank app. I knew what I would see, but I checked anyway. I would stare at the balance and feel stupid. Like I was bad with money, but without proof. I started comparing myself to others. Colleagues earning less than me were surviving better. Some were even saving. I kept asking myself, what are they doing that I'm not doing? I decided to be careful. I reduced eating out. I stopped buying snacks. I avoided unnecessary spending. Still, by the 10th, my money was gone. That was when frustration really started. 1 month, I decided to track my spending. Not properly, though. Just in my head. I told myself, I remember what I spend. That didn't work. Small expenses don't stay in your head. Transport here. Transfer there. Small online purchase. Random subscription I forgot about. Helping someone with small money. Nothing felt serious. But everything added up. The real wake-up call came one evening when a friend asked me out. Nothing big. Just roadside food. I checked my account before replying. I had less than I thought. Way less. I felt ashamed. Not because I didn't have money, but because I couldn't explain why. That night, I went home and did something uncomfortable. I sat down and opened my bank statement for the last 2 months. It wasn't pretty. I saw things I didn't remember spending on. Transfers I had completely forgotten. Charges. Subscriptions. Small withdrawals that meant nothing at the time. The biggest shock wasn't even how much I spent. It was how often I spent. Money was leaving my account almost every day. Not in big amounts. In small, careless amounts. Food I didn't plan for. Transport choices that were convenient, not cheap. Online purchases I justified because they were just small money. Helping people without setting limits. I realized something painful. I never told my money what to do. I just reacted all month. If someone needed help and I had money at that moment, I sent. If I was tired, I spent for convenience. If I felt bored, I spent. If I felt stressed, I spent. There was no plan. Just vibes. I always thought budgeting meant writing big numbers on paper and stressing yourself. I didn't see myself as that kind of person. But what I was doing was worse. I was letting emotions control my spending. Another thing I noticed was timing. The first week of the month was always the most dangerous. That's when I felt rich. That's when I spent freely. By the time reality hit, half the money was already gone. By the 10th, I was no longer making choices. I was surviving. I also realized I had invisible expenses. Things I never counted as spending. Data. Subscriptions. Small family support. Random contributions. They felt harmless, but together they were heavy. Nothing changed until I decided to do one boring thing. I tracked everything. Every single naira. For 1 full month. Not in my head. On my phone. Every time money left my account, I wrote it down. Even if it was 500 Nigerian nairas. Even if it felt stupid. The first week was painful. I hated seeing the numbers. It felt like my money was exposing me. But something interesting happened. I started thinking before spending. Not because I was disciplined, but because I didn't want to write it down later. By the second week, I understood my money better than ever before. I knew where it was going. I knew what was draining me. For the first time, by the 10th of the month, my salary wasn't gone. It wasn't plenty, but it wasn't gone. That month didn't magically make me rich. But it gave me clarity. And clarity brought peace. What I learned is simple. Money doesn't disappear because you're careless or lazy. It disappears quietly when you don't pay attention. I wasn't bad with money. I was just unaware. If you're reading this and your salary always finishes early, you're not alone. And it's not always because you earn too little. Sometimes, it's because your money is moving without direction. By the 10th of every month, my salary used to be gone. Now, at least, I know why it used to happen.